Once again, everyone, another video here. This one will be probably a little on the longer side. Got a few stories to go over really quickly here, even though I just said it'd be a long video. Irrelevant. First story we're going to talk about. Wind Waker HD's price, apparently, at least on Amazon, has gone up $10 to $60 now. Why, Nintendo? Why do you make these stupid random decisions? It's a remake. No remake, unless it's like an HD collection that comes with like 3 games, should it ever be close to $60. A lot of people were saying Wind Waker HD should have been $40. That would have been crazy good, but $50 was the sweet spot. Now, I'm still going to get the game regardless, because before I even knew about the $50, I was already going to get it, even if it was $60. That's personally because it's Wind Waker, my second favorite Zelda. I haven't played it in 10 years. But if we were to switch this, if this was Majora's Mask HD for the Wii U, $60? Hell no, I wouldn't get it. $50? Hell no, I wouldn't get it. $45? Nope. 40? Maybe I would consider it. But that's just because I hate Majora's Mask. But my point is that the reason I'm still going to get it for being $60 is because it is Wind Waker. And that's strictly why. Nintendo, do we need to go in the Miiverse and scream at you again, just like the whole YouTube Let's Play bullshit you pulled and all that? Nintendo, you got the money. It's a remake. You don't need to charge full $60. That's a Microsoft move there. So bring it back down to $50 across the board. We'll be happy. Moving on to the next story here. An analyst, some random guy, or an analyst, as a lot of people like to call him, writes an open letter to Mr. Nintendo. Mr. Nintendo. This is such a terrible argument, or not even argument, but I have no opinion about Nintendo's share price, but the Nintendo DS is being beaten into a pulp by the fashion for mobile games. Why does he bring up the DS now when the 3DS is what's dominating, and the DS itself was the most dominant, or is the most dominant system in the world, the most selling, the most sold? The Wii U likewise, and the Wii isn't competing with Xbox and PlayStation. The Wii beat Xbox 360 and PS3. It's retired, basically. Consider it that way. PS3, oh, it just started making a profit like 2 years ago. So, whatever. It wasn't competing with anything either. Right now, Xbox 360 and PS3 are lightly combating each other, but it's nothing to what it'll be later when the Xbox One and PS4 arrive. Anyway, all of this is a shame for those of us who wish our children would stick to cheaper devices, and for those of us who have lost iPads and smartphones to our teens. I approve of Nintendo on grounds of costs, even if it fails on a cool. Oh boy. iPads are lame. Mobile phone games, pathetic. That's where those games come in. Those cannot even remotely. I don't care what your statistics, what your facts, what reality says. Those cannot, will not, never compete with real, full console games. Anyway, he went on to say, the good news is that the yen saves the day. Profits are up despite falling sales. Dear Mr. Nintendo, which is the 3DS. Dear Mr. Nintendo, please bolster your sales by cutting prices in time for Christmas, and give me some of your weak yen and in disinflation. I deserve it. What the fuck is this guy talking about? Oh, and please use some of your profits to think up another cooler and cheaper games that can compete with the leviathans of the mobile gaming and video market. Leviathans? Yeah, it's like an epidemic. Tablet games and phone games. It's like what's the word? A pandemic virus that spread across the world. Much like Call of Duty. Just because it's popular, just because it's across the entire world, does it mean it's good? No, not even a close resemblance to what good is. Human beings are, for the most part, incapable of deciding what is good. They go to cheaper things, like phone games, because they don't need to go all the way to the store to buy it. They see something that can keep their attention drawn for an hour, 2 hours maybe. Then they go buy another 99-cent game. You would need to buy like 10 99-cent games in order to get the same playability in game time as you would one actual $60 main real game. And it's just pathetic. Then he says, "Do I like what the yen has done for the Nike? I don't know. Is that Nike? Whatever. Oh yes, I do. Does Mr. Abe need to keep it up if he wants to avoid wasting the benefit of a weaker currency? Yes, he does. Again, I don't know what he's blathering on about. This guy, I was going to say, is worse than Patrick, but he's just retarded, this guy. Moving on to our next story. Iwata says he doesn't think the concept and the potential of the Wii U have been rejected. Well, what I have to say to that is he's absolutely correct. Because if you think about it, Wii U has not been rejected. The message of the Wii U, the concept of the Wii U, what has happened is the Wii U's message, the Wii U's concept, hasn't been received. That's the issue that we have here. Yes, there's still the buffoons out there who just, I don't know, they don't want to do research. They don't want to use their brains. I don't know, they just see the word Wii or the gamepad controller and they just think still, oh, it's just a controller for the Wii itself. Yeah, a $350 controller. Does no one have fucking sense anymore? Really? I mean, the Vita is a $250 PS4 controller, but that's beside the point. That's all I have to say on that. Wii U message has been not received, not rejected. You can't reject what you don't receive. Next story up. Bit of Club Nintendo news. Awesome, Pikmin key rings have arrived on Club Nintendo. There's a picture of one right there. At first I was excited, then I found out only on the Club Nintendo of the United Kingdom. Why do they continuously get, I don't know about Japan's, but the Europe one always gets new stuff. The Club Nintendo in North America, when was the last time we got a new thing? The Gold Nunchuck, like 2 years ago? And it's been like out of stock pretty much? This is getting ridiculous. The UK is getting pre-order bonuses for like every freaking main big AAA hitter game now. The last time Canada got a pre-order bonus was Mario Kart 7 and Super Mario 3D Land. It was like buttons or pins or something like that. It's ridiculous. Moving on to our next story here. Morrisons, fourth largest UK supermarket, has also stopped selling the Wii U. There was a story from before about Walmart or something, or was it Walmart? I forget, some other store that was owned by Walmart or whatever. Anyway, people are freaking out about this, but you have to think of one simple thing. I'd never even heard of this store until this story, but Morrisons is a supermarket, a grocery store. Now, can you think of ever a time you've seen, it's either yourself, a friend, a cousin, a relative, whatever, has anyone that you've known ever bought a system from a grocery store? Who goes to a grocery store to say, I'm going to pick up the Xbox One? I mean, you'll do it if, for example, if pre-orders are completely sold out and you're trying every little spot you can find to try and get one. But when there's not an issue of finding one, who's going to go to a grocery store? Maybe someone who's like literally like across the street from a grocery store because it'd be closer for them. But for the most part, people don't go to a grocery store for a video game console. They go to a grocery store for groceries. And then our final little story here. Target doesn't know what a Wii U looks like. In this little pamphlet advertisement of theirs or whatever, They show a Wii U gamepad with Pikmin 3 on it on top of the black Wii. Not the Wii U, the Wii. For $350. That's gonna confuse their audience, or not audience, their customers. Oh, Target, you fucking idiots. Is it really that hard to correct this mistake? Do you not have a Wii U demo up in your store somewhere in the electronics department? You would clearly see the system is different. You would have the box. The Wii U box is in stores. On the box, there's a picture of what the Wii U looks like. Now, just use a 3 to 4 second time judgment and look between the system you have in your flyer and the system in the picture on the box. They're two different things. Fucking idiots. Now, I'm pretty sure this is going to get cleared up within the next few weeks or whatever. But point is, it's just so stupid. One other story which I don't have here was a video on YouTube from Machinima Respawn, and they were talking about a story, or the topic, is the Wii U dead? I'm not gonna do, what do you call it, major damage control. I'm not gonna say, no, the Wii U's selling amazingly, it's dominating, blah blah blah. That's just not true. But the thing is, the Wii U's dead? No, not quite. I would say it's more of like, unconscious right now. Like it's sleeping. It's not doing much. It's there. And I feel like the people out there, the majority of people out there, the population, is unaware that it's launched. So basically, the people who do have Wii U's, we're basically the early adopters, the people who got an exclusive system early. That's the way I consider it. Starting, of course, with Pikmin, and everything will turn around, of course. You can't say the Wii U's dead until if Smash Bros., if the new Zelda, if Metroid, if Mario Kart, if all those don't sell systems, then you can say the Wii U failed. The Wii U's dead. But until then, you can't. It's lying in the darkness, waiting to strike. Now, there's one other thing I wanted to mention, which I forgot to say. It was actually just a quick little thing on the Wind Waker, or not the Wind Waker thing. Well, it was a Wind Waker reference I was going to use when the Iwata said that the Wii U hasn't been rejected, and I was going to say it hasn't been received. I was going to say, but I forgot. It's kind of like in Wind Waker HD, how you can put a message in a bottle and throw it out into the ocean, and it'll wash up on your friends on the shore in one of your friends' games for them to read. That seems like what Nintendo has done. They've put the concept and the message of the Wii U in a bottle, corked it up, chucked it in the ocean, and are waiting for someone to find it on some island, on some shore somewhere. But unfortunately, it's still floating out in the middle of the ocean somewhere. Or eaten by a shark. So at the bottom of the ocean. Who knows? Anyway, the Wii U is not dead. The Wii U is by no means a success right now. But we've seen this all before. The 3DS launch. Absolutely abysmal. I bought the 3DS at launch. I was still pleased with the system, just lack of games. Wii U is the same. I'm still impressed with the system. The hardware in the Wii U is impressive. I'm not a graphics whore who's all about realistic graphics and, PC elitist and Sony's PlayStation 4 is gonna rape everything because of its uber power. The Wii U has more power than you realize. That the majority of people realize. Sure, the PS4 will be marginally bigger in power by the end of the PS4's lifetime. Xbox One, we can't say. We really can't say. We haven't seen any actual gameplay from games running off the Xbox One. It's all PC so far. But, yeah. Wii U is far from dead. Nintendo's been around 124 years. That's the definition of success. Whether you like them or you hate them is irrelevant. To bank on Nintendo is pretty much always going to be a safe bet. They're always going to be around. The Wii U could actually completely fail. Nintendo could make a single $1 profit. The entire 8th generation, just $1. And guess what? It'd be nothing more than Nintendo doing a giant hiccup. It wouldn't affect them at all. It really wouldn't. The 3DS is more than enough to cover for the Wii U right now, which should be honestly the other way around. Should be the home console's the main success, but anyway, that's maybe a topic for a different video. The point was, 124 years they've been around. Oops, excuse me, hiccuped. 124 years they've been around. Don't count out Nintendo that easily. Don't be a fool. Yeah, this video's been long enough. That's all I have to say. This, as always, is Original Blood Ace, so stay tuned for more videos coming soon.